Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Misty Moss. I am a boudoir photographer, self-portrait artist, and burlesque performer, all things self-love. And today we're doing a little gear tour. I don't normally talk about my gear a lot, but over the last year I have been traveling a bunch and I have had to use a lot of gear, and I really come to hone in on my kit, and I have some tried and true staples that I want to share with y'all. So let's do it! Alright, so let's get into the gear. But before I dive into all of the accessories that I have to share with you, I just want to preface this video by saying none of these are sponsored, none of these are ads, none of this is product placement. I just love all these brands and I love this kit that I've assembled, and I just stand by these products. So not sponsored, not paid to be talking about this stuff. I just really like this gear and I really like these brands, so I wanted to share them with you. So if you are interested in getting some of this stuff for yourself, you can find that down below in the description. Let's get into it. The most important thing in a travel photographer's accessory kit is going to be your bag. Your bag is going to keep your gear safe, and it will make your life hard or easy depending on which bag you get. I wish that I had just invested years ago in a good quality bag instead of just buying a bunch of cheap bags, because I didn't want to invest that much money into a high quality bag, because in the end I hated those bags so much I just ended up spending the money anyways, and I wish I just spent the money right out of the gate and got a good bag instead of like going through a bunch of cheap bags to finally end up at the bag that actually works for me. And the bag that I have is, oh my god, he's so heavy, the Wandered Provoke bag. Is that how you're supposed to pronounce it? This guy. I have the Wander bag. I have it in black. This bag is waterproof. All of the zippers are sealed. They have the ceiling on the side so that when I'm traveling to the jungle where it rains a lot, I know that my gear is nice and safe in this bag if I go walking around. This bag has a lot of amazing features. The thing I was really looking for in a bag was a bag that wasn't a roll bag, because when you're checking in to your flight, a lot of times they will oversell flights and there isn't a lot of space for carry-on luggage. And if you have a roller bag, those are the things that get checked almost immediately. So I knew I wanted a bag that was actually like a backpack so that it wouldn't get checked at the gate, and then all my gear would be nice and safe on my back instead of in the plane moving around. The second thing that was on my travel bag checklist was a bag with a sleeve that could carry my 16-inch laptop, as well as a bag that had a sleeve that was super easy to access, so that when I was going through security, I didn't have to like open my whole bag and take a bunch of time up when there's people behind me. I really wanted it to be easy to just zip it open, pull it out, put it in the tray, put it back in the tray, and go. Another really cool thing with this bag is that there's a zipper on the side that makes your camera super easily accessible. So if you're out and about and you just want to get a shot real quick, you can just open up the bag from the side, pull out your camera, take your shot, put your camera back. It also has a compartment that's at the small of your back to put important documents like your credit cards, your wallet, and your passport for when you're traveling, just in case you don't want people like opening up your bag somehow. It's kind of just like a nice tucked away little compartment for extra things that you want to keep safe. Another feature I really love about this travel bag is that the cube is completely removable. So if you don't want to use it as a camera bag and you just want to use it as like a day bag to go hiking or something, you can just take the whole cube out and then now it's just a backpack. And I thought that was super rad. I love how this bag can store a lot of stuff, or it can roll down and be smaller depending on what your needs are for the day. I love that it has hip straps, because camera gear is heavy, y'all, and usually when I'm packing this bag I have 2 bodies, 3 to 4 lenses, my MacBook Pro 16-inch, which weighs a lot, as well as like battery banks. Sometimes my drone is in there in the upper compartment. I have a water bottle a lot of the time. Sometimes my tripod is in there too. And the bag can like easily weigh up to like 40 pounds based on just how much gear I'm putting in this bad boy. So I really love the hip belt because I can let the weight rest on my hips instead of just my shoulders. This is super key if I'm doing like a big stint through a bunch of different airports and I have a bunch of layovers and I need to get from gate to gate, and I have to hoof it. Hoofing it with a 40-pound bag, not fun, but because this has a hip belt, it makes it a lot easier, and it means that I can just feel more better with my bag on my back. I can't talk today. You guys know what I mean. What else do I want to say about you? I literally just learned about that. I did not know that it had a compartment at the front. I have had this bag for like 3 years, and I just learned that there's a new pocket. Another great feature about this bag is it has a lot of pockets, some that you'll discover in 3 years, some that you'll use right away. That's cool. Oh my God. The second biggest thing in my travel kit I actually don't have with me right now, because I knew I would only be doing stuff in villas this trip. Like, I knew I was just going to be at the retreat, and then I was just going to be at this villa doing shoots, and I wasn't doing a lot of traveling around or sightseeing. I didn't actually bring my second bag that I almost always use. And the second bag that almost always, except for this one time when I wanted to film this video, that almost always comes with me is the Peak Design sling bag. I will get future Misty to show off this bag and model it for you. But I love the Peak Design sling bag. I have the 6-liter. I kind of also want to buy it in the 10-liter. I think the 3-liter would be way too small for anything, but the 6-liter fits my camera with its lens on really easy. It's also waterproof, which I love. I live in a rainforest in Vancouver Island. It rains a lot. So when I'm doing shoots, you never know what the weather's gonna do, and it's always nice to know that my gear is protected. Likewise, when I travel, it's often to the tropics or places where it does rain, and I just like to know that if I'm out and about for the day, I can just put my camera on the inside of the bag and know that it's safe from the elements. This bag is a lot more roomy than I expected, so I can fit a lot of stuff in there as well, which I really enjoy. It has different compartments to keep all my stuff safe. It has a strap on the back, so I often use this bag as my personal item when I'm traveling through airports, because it can just slide on top of a roller bag really easily, which is really nice when you're traveling. And it's also the perfect size for me to fit like my e-reader, my phone, snacks, and then just put everything underneath the seat in front of me on the airplane. So this usually is also my go-to personal item. The Peak Design sling bag is normally my second most tried and true travel item. Kind of funny I didn't bring it with me, but I knew I wasn't doing a lot of sightseeing. When I do have a trip planned with a lot of walking around, like when I go to Europe or when I go to the States, I will always bring this bag because it's my go-to day bag. When I just want to go out and see stuff and take a lot of pictures of stuff, I know that I can count on this bag. The wonderful thing about this bag is it pairs really well with the Peak Design capture clip, which I will talk about next. And because they're both Peak Design, they just go really well together, obviously. And the capture clip goes onto the outside of the bag, so if I want to buy stuff when I'm out and about, I can actually take my camera out of the bag, clip it onto the clip, and now I just have a bag full of space to hold stuff. So if I want to go shopping or put more snacks in my bag, I can easily do that. This bag was my go-to bag when I was in Rome, because Rome is a hotspot for pickpocketing, and you can actually take the loops of the bag, like the zipper loops, and like tuck them into this other part of the bag so that people can't like open the bag really easy. If they try to go to open the bag, they have to like rifle around, and it's not easy to just like open it, grab stuff and go. Like, they really have to take time pickpocketing you, which people don't do. If people are looking to pickpocket you, they want to just like grab and go. So having that extra security measure on this bag is really awesome. So as far as bags go, bags I think are going to be the most important thing you're looking for when you want to start your traveling kit to make your life easier. They can be a bit of an investment, but the investment is so worth it. So if you are looking at bags and you're like, where do I even start? What do I need for traveling? I highly recommend pairing those two together. Having a good bag to put all your gear in when you're going through the airports is great, and then having your day bag to just take your camera with you for the day is also super key. So those are my two go-to bags. Swear by them, love them so much. And they come in different colors. I'm just a little camera goth and I love everything all in black, so I bought them both in black. Okay, now we're getting into more like the nitty-gritty accessories and less the things that are actually gonna help you transport your gear and keep your gear safe. So next on my list of absolute must-haves, I'm a diehard for this, is the Peak Design tripod. This tripod is the tripod so nice, I've bought it twice. I lost it the first time. Don't ask me how I did that. It's not my brightest story. It's not my most proud moment, but I lost it. I lost a very expensive tripod, and I was like, do I just buy a cheap one? No, I'm just gonna buy the same damn tripod again because I loved it so much. This tripod is great because it packs down super small. It's very light. Even the aluminum one is still really light compared to other tripods. It takes like 20 seconds to set up and tear down. It's absolutely amazing. I love the Peak Design travel tripod because I have the Peak Design camera clip so that they use the same mount, so I can just keep the same mount on the bottom of my camera and switch it back and forth between the two things. Super handy. I can't talk about it enough, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about a tripod. It's pretty hefty in terms of price point, but worth it. So worth it. I think it's the same idea with the bag where yes, the high quality gear has a higher price point, but the idea is you're only supposed to buy things once and use them forever, unless you're like me and you lose the tripod, which you'll buy it twice. But would you rather buy something cheap, hate it, it breaks, or it just doesn't work well for your purposes, and then later on buy a more expensive one? Or would you rather just make the investment one time and then have it done with? That's kind of where I'm leaning into these days with gear. When I think about the kind of gear that I want for my kit to make my life easier when I'm traveling, I would rather stomach the initial cost and know that I've invested and it's gonna support me and make my life easier in the future. This tripod is super stable. I've shot with it on glaciers, I've shot with it on the beach, I have taken it to volcanoes. This thing has gone places, it's seen shit, and it is just great. I love it. It's really easy to clean too if you get sand in it when you're traveling out and about, like I do, because I'm not very careful with my stuff. Another cool thing with this tripod is it actually has a phone mount. So in the bottom of the little thing, I just dropped it on the ground. I thought I was being so slick. It just stores in the tripod. So you can actually see here, this just lives inside the tripod. So when you're out and about and you want to take a behind the scenes clip, you can just easily pop this out of the tripod, put your phone into it, easy peasy, put your phone into the tripod, and now you have something to film your behind the scenes or your B-roll if you want that on your phone. So lots of cool features with this tripod. Really lightweight, really compact, really easy to travel with. Doesn't take up a lot of space in my suitcase too because it does fold down so small. Tucks into the backpack really easy in the water bottle compartment if I do want to keep it on my back when I'm out and about. Yeah, 10 out of 10, recommend. All right, next up, I've talked about it a couple times already, but it is the Peak Design capture clip. I love this. So the capture clip basically is a portable way to carry your camera on the outside of a bag. So it works really well with the Peak Design sling bag. You can just kind of attach it to the sling bag in the designated spot for it, and then you can just attach your camera to the outside of your bag if you want more space on the inside of your bag. Or if you just want your camera super easily accessible when you're out and about and you want to get a quick picture of something. It attaches to a lot of different bags. It just opens like this, and you just kind of put the bag handle here, and then you just flop this around, close it up, and then your camera just hangs onto this. My only complaint is that it's pretty narrow and it doesn't fit on the wander bag. So if I'm out and about, I can't fit it around the thick strap. It does fit really well on my small Fjallraven fanny pack. So if I'm not wearing my Peak Design carry bag, I'll usually have this one on. And I can attach my camera clip to the sides here, just like this, and then my camera can kind of dangle from my small fanny pack. I will only do this if I have my camera in vlog mode with my pancake lens on and I know my camera is going to be really light. I don't think this would be a good solution with this fanny pack if I had a heavier lens on, just because I don't really trust this tiny flimsy little strap. I don't know if you can see how small that strap is. All right, we are getting more into the accessory side of things now. That's really it for like camera gear. The rest of the stuff I bring while I'm traveling are things that I use to just make my life easier, and to keep gear safe and just make traveling smoother. So next up on our like accessories list, this is absolutely mandatory if you're traveling anywhere wet or damp or humid. Silica gel packs, baby. You can get these in bulk on Amazon. I have a huge bag. You can also get them bigger than this, like in like big boys. These are absolutely amazing. Throw them into your bag with your camera, throw them to where your laptop is. They just absorb the wetness out of the air, out of the bag, and a little bit safer from moisture damage. The ones that I bought have, I don't know if you can see them, they have like little orange gels in them as well. So when they get full, they turn green, and it means that these need to get left out in the sun and they'll dry out, and then you can reuse them over and over again. I buy these in bulk. I love them, swear by them. They're great. There's always like 5 of them in my bag at a time, just because, like I said, I live in a rainforest and it's always wet. And then I travel to Bali and it's wet. So it's just nice knowing that my gear is like nice and cozy in its waterproof bag. And then on the inside of the waterproof bag, I've got these bad boys working hard to absorb the moisture out of the air and keep my gear nice and dry. All right, next up, we are talking storage, my friends. So you're traveling, you're taking a lot of pictures. Maybe you're working and you're taking photos of clients while you're abroad, and you gotta import them somewhere so you can edit them. These bad boys are so heavy duty. So when it comes to files, I buy a new hard drive at the beginning of every year and I put a little year on it. This helps me just in terms of like file storage. When clients ask me like, do you have photos from my shoot still? And I can like go back and find the year that I shot them and then just like easily find the hard drive. Of course, back home I have like a big thick hard drive that lives on my computer, so they're backed up there. And then I also have these. These are great. They're so heavy duty. They've got like the silicone on them so they can like kind of get banged around. Don't bang them around, but just in case, you know that they're protected a little bit. They're marketed as more heavy duty, so I know I can trust them a little bit. And this is like my 6th one. I don't even know. Like I always buy this exact brand. It's never let me down. They've never failed, knock on wood, ever in my time that I've had them. So cannot swear by them enough. Next up, when we are talking file storage, data storage, hard drives, all that fun stuff, is this hard drive case. Also from Amazon. This is the inside looks like. I love this because I can have my hard drive here, but then it also has a little memory card holder on it so that I can slot my memory cards in here. And then it also has this little pouch, oopsies, this little pouch. It's got like a little pocket in it as well. And then in that pocket, I always put just this little guy, which is just this little adapter so I can import my photos through the SD card right away, plug in anything I need, plug in my hard drive. So this always comes with me, and then it just lives in the case with the memory cards in the hard drive, and they're all just one big safe happy family together in their little bed. It's like quite hard, so I know everything in there is nice and secure. I'm pretty sure it's waterproof. I forget, but I'm like 99% sure because I usually only buy waterproof stuff to keep everything safe because, as you have heard, I'm very conscious about moisture getting into my stuff. All right, next up we are talking power, baby. So when you're traveling through the airport, a lot of airports don't have very easily accessible charging points. You think they would. Some airports do. Some airports just suck and aren't as nice as other airports. They just haven't been well thought out. So instead of just like running around or like standing up somewhere in a restaurant trying to charge your stuff, I just bring this big thick boy with me. This is a battery bank. It lasts forever. Like it's at 83% right now. I charge my phone on it in the airport. It it can charge my drone. I'm pretty sure it'll charge my laptop if I need it to. Like, this thing is so hefty. It's not like a 1 or 2 charge thing. Like, I can charge my phone on this, I think, 20 times before it dies. It's wild. So I just love knowing that I have charging potential if I get stuck somewhere. I just know that I can always have juice. The juice, this thing's got the juice. It's heavy though, so like I was saying before, all of the gear really adds up in the bag and everything gets quite heavy quite quickly. So if you are stacking your bag full of heavy gear, just make sure you get a good bag, like I said. The next thing that I bring with me whenever I travel abroad is this universal adapter. So it has got, right now this is the Europe thing. Bali uses Europe, so I use this a lot. It also has Australia. It's got USA and China, which I don't need because all of mine are this already. It also has a USB in the bottom, so if you don't want to plug in here, you can just plug in the USB. These are great. I like having everything all in one. That way I know, like, I never have to buy another one. Like, this is it. This is the only thing I'll ever need. Throw it in my bag. I know wherever I'm going, no matter what plug-in they have, it'll be covered with this. So if you are going international, make sure you look up the plugs that they use, because nothing would suck more than getting to your destination and not being able to charge anything because you didn't look up the plugs. So buying a travel adapter, super paramount for any travel photographer kit. All right, one of the last things that I always bring with me when I'm traveling and shooting is this travel speaker. So this bad boy is, you guessed it, waterproof. And I can even take it in the shower if I want to. This is great because I love setting the mood in my shoots with music. I think it's super paramount to set the vibe, help clients unwind and relax with a good playlist while they're getting their hair and makeup done, and then set the playlist to something super moody and vibey for when we're actually doing the shoot so that they can like sink deeper into the experience and get into their bodies. So playing things on my phone just doesn't cut it. So I grabbed this bad boy, put it in my bag. Probably one of the only things in my kit that's actually really light. So this is great, and I have brought it traveling a bunch. Packs a punch in terms of volume. Yeah, it's great. I cannot recommend it enough. Super durable, super rugged, super tiny and portable, and like just great bang for your buck in all departments. I love this thing. It's great. All right, thank you for sticking with me for so long. We have one more thing on this video, my tried and true travel kit to make my life easier when going on big adventures across the world. And that is a compression sack. So we're kind of switching departments now. We've gone from camera bags, camera gear, charging stuff, file storage, and now we're just talking logistics of stuffing your suitcase full of stuff. I'm a boudoir photographer, so I shoot people scantily clad a lot of the time. A lot of the times completely nude, and my style also draws a lot of influence from the Renaissance, so I like to bring with me sheets wherever I travel. My sheets are globe-trotting pieces of fabric. They have seen all the corners of the world by now, and I fit them all into this little bag. So a lot of my pieces of fabric are very large. I like to have larger than life fabric because it adds to the surrealism of the imagery, it adds to the romanticism of the imagery, and I can just achieve more drapery and create more leading lines with the more fabric that I have. So, oh my god, come here you. I brought so much fabric with me. So I brought this fabric and another piece of fabric and all of this fabric with me to Bali this time. And if I just shoved this in my suitcase would like be all fabric and I wouldn't have space for, you know, clothes and toothpaste and stuff. So to mitigate how much space just fabric takes up, I shove it in a compression sack, and I take all of this fabric and I make it in fit into this tiny little bag. So now all that fabric is just the size of my head, and it easily fits in my suitcase, and I don't have to worry about taking up that much space, and I have lots of space left over for clothes and shoes and other important things that I need when I'm living my life somewhere else. I just hit myself in the face. All right, those are all my tried and true things that I use when I am out traveling, out and about. That is the gear that I use, the equipment I use. If you have any questions at all about anything in this video or anything else you want me to talk about in regards to just gear and stuff, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that bell, and all that fun stuff, and I will see you in the next video.